So continuing studying polynomials, this is video 2. We are continuing with learning now second step of building polynomial functions, and this is zeros of polynomial functions. Okay. So, what are zeros of polynomial function? If my f of x, let's say f of x is my polynomial, if it's I assign it equal to 0, then x, it's gonna act like zeros of functions. Zeros, the value of x, it's gonna act as a zeros of functions. And then we call also roots. We call also solutions. Okay? That's algebraically. On the graph, x is gonna called as an intercept. So let's make it clear by example. They say it's better 1 times to see than 10 times to listen, hear, right? Or listen. So f of x is equal x cubed plus x squared. Let's do 3x squared. Okay. Minus x minus 3. Okay. So I am assigning this equals 0 polynomial. So because I have to assign to 0 to find out the values of x, right? And those will be my zeros, named zeros, the value of x. Okay, to assign 0. Now let's scroll back in our memories how we solve equation that on the right side we have equals 0. Several methods you use by factoring, by grouping, by applying formulas for perfect square, difference of squares, and so on. So one is interesting, we use all other methods of factoring when we have 3 terms, only besides of one method that use 4 terms, and that's a grouping. And we have 4 terms here, and that's exactly what I'm going to try to use, grouping. For grouping, I'm going to break down into groups. X cubed plus 3x squared minus, since this minus, see here, I'm going to flip every single sign. In parentheses will be positive 3 positive x, because I have negative in front of sign. See, if I open this negative sign, open parentheses, I still will get back negative x, negative 3, right? Okay. So next I'm taking common factor. This is x squared. Taking common factor, it's going to be x squared, right? And we get x plus 3 and minus x plus 3. Whoever needs to refresh memory on factoring, by grouping, by determinant, by all other methods of factoring, please open intermediate math playlist and find their methods of factoring, okay? Videos. Okay, what do we have here? Common factor, we have x plus 3. Taking out. And in this parenthesis, we have x squared minus 1. And that is equal 0. So x squared minus 1, to remind you quickly, that's, we can apply difference of squared, where a squared minus b squared is a plus b times a minus b. Yes? So x squared minus 1, I'm going to represent as x to power 2 minus 1 to power 2, right? And that's mean I'm getting x plus 1, x minus 1, and that is equal 0. All right. So since product, we have here product obviously is equal 0, that means one of them has to be 0 to get the product 0. Well, let's see. If x plus 3 is equal 0, then x is equal negative 3. If x plus 1 is equal 0, then x is equal negative 1. If x minus 1 is equal 0, then x is equal positive 1. Now those we call them zeros, or roots or solutions. Okay, and we need them to use when we build the polynomial. This is what we call also intercept. Remember at the beginning I mentioned intercept. As an intercept, this is where we're gonna place. Okay. So negative 3, negative 1, and 1. If this is my 1, negative 1, this is my positive 1, and this is, I will have 1, 2, somewhere, let me see. One, this is going to be somewhere here, huh? Negative 3. Okay. And if we look at our the polynomial, we have the highest degree, we have 3. When it's when highest degree is odd, and our leading coefficient is 1, which means it's positive. That means our end behavior is going to go this way. Left end is falling, the right end is rising. Yes? Okay. So this is how far we can build. If you look at the graph, at the graph of this polynomial on the graphing calculator, you would get exactly what you have here, a halfway element shown, which is going to be, it will come like this and go somewhat up. I don't know how much, we will learn later on. And then it will come down, I don't know how far, and it will cross 1 and come here. Okay, the places where I put dot, we will learn that one also. But so far I don't know, I'm just showing the way the graph is gonna look like, based on if you would use the graphing calculator. Approximately gonna look like this. All right. Next example. To find zeros, f of x is equal x cubed plus x squared, 2x squared minus 4x and minus 8. Okay, so here is also 4. We have 4 terms. I'm going to go through group the factoring grouping. So it's gonna be x cubed plus 2x squared minus flipping signs because negative in front for x plus 8. And then we take common factor, x squared will be x plus 2, and minus common factor is 4 will be x plus 2 is equal 0. Taking out, so we have this term, one term, and the other term. Both of them have common factor x plus 2. And in the second parenthesis, we will have x squared minus 4. Well, x squared minus 4 we still can break down as x plus 2, x minus 2, right? Similar to what we did, broke down, because it's 4, so we break down equals 0. That means since we have three parentheses, multiplication, that means either x is equal negative 2 and x is equal positive 2. Since this is identical, so only one 0 points. Those are my 0 points. Okay? If you look at the graphing calculator, if you build this graph, this is how it's gonna look like, and I'm going to build. So what we will have here, it's gonna be negative 2. If this is negative 2, this is gonna be positive 2. And our end behavior, it's what's gonna be look like. We have it 3, it is odd, which is gonna be one end falling, one end rising. And because we have here 1, it's positive. So we're gonna have left is falling, right is rising. Okay, in the graph, if you look at the graphing calculator, it's gonna be something like this. Why is it the way it is? We will learn later on. I'm going to cover it. I'm just drawing the graph so you would see this indeed. This negative 2 and positive is matching on the graphing calculator, and end behavior also matches on the graphing calculator. Okay? All right. Next one. F of x is equal x to negative x to 4 plus 4x cubed minus 4x squared. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Can I take, how much I can take? X, okay, let's go slow. Negative x to 4 plus 4x cubed minus 4x squared equals 0. Since I have here in front negative, I'm going to divide across the equation everything by negative 1. So flip the sign everywhere. So it's going to be positive x to 4 minus 4x3 plus 4x squared. All I did, I just divided by negative 1. I have right to do that. Whatever change I do to denominator, to one side of equation, I have to do exactly same change to the other side of equation. Since on the right side it's 0, so it stays 0, but I flipped every single sign and got rid of this negative sign in front of x to power 4. Okay, next, what we are going to do, take out common factor. Among variables with exponents, common factor is going to be the variable that has the smallest exponent. So we have x to 4, we have x cubed, and we have x squared. Well, obviously x squared is going to be your common factor. So we're taking x squared out. What will be left? So at the x to 4 divided by x squared, we are subtracting, right? We subtract exponent. It's going to be equal 4 minus 2. When you divide variables with exponents, you subtract this exponent, will be x to 2. So we will have left x to 2 minus 4x, 3 minus, here we have 3 minus 2, it's going to be 1, right? So I don't put 1, plus 4, and x squared divided by x squared, it's 2 is going to be gone. I will have only, oops, x to 0, which will be 1. Okay, equals 0. So next, x squared. Now x squared minus 4x plus 4. If I factor it, it's going to be x minus 2 times x minus 2, right? Look here, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, and negative 2 and negative 2 will give you negative 4. That's one way. The other way, you can use perfect square. That's going to be a squared plus minus 2ab plus b squared is equal a plus minus b squared. Formula for perfect square. And I put negative here. And I put negative here. Okay? That is going to be equal 0. Okay, so from here, what do we have? Either we have 1, 2, 3. So either x squared is equal 0, which means x is equal 0, or x minus 2 is equal 0, which means x is equal 2, or x, oh, both of them are x minus 2. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what we are going to get here, if I approximately would show half of the graph, let's do this. I will clean this. And this piece I will move higher. Okay. All right. So for this one, we have x highest degree is 4, right? Okay, which means both end behavior is going to be either both ends gonna go up or both ends gonna go down. Now, since we have here negative, that means it's gonna go down. It's negative 1. So both ends are going to go down. What do we have? We have 0, x is 0, and we have x is equal 2. 0 and 2. So if you look on the graphing calculator, it's indeed it's going to be crossing x in the point 0 and 2, and both ends are going to be down. So it's going to look like this. And why do I know? Because I know other elements we are going to use. And since I haven't taught you yet, I haven't showed you yet, so just trust me, you will learn also how to do it. And it will come right, I guess, next to it. We'll see. Either on this video or on next video. Okay. Next one. X to power 4. Minus x squared. So we get x to power 4 minus x squared is equal 0. We take x squared out and we will have x squared minus 1. That is equal 0. So what do we get? X squared minus 1, I can break down x minus 1, x plus 1, right? And here x squared, and we get 0. So what solutions we get? What zeros we get? X is equal 0, x is equal positive 1, x is equal negative 1. Okay? Okay, let's draw. So x is equal 0 right here, positive 1, and here we have negative 1. So highest degree is 4, which means, and leading coefficient is positive. It's right here, leading coefficient, positive 1. Therefore, the end behavior is going to go up, right? Both ends are going up. And it's going to look like, since we have 0, if you check on graphing calculator, you will see both ends going up. and it has 3 x-intercepts. If you look, you will see it has 3 x-intercepts, and the graph goes like this. Okay? All right. So this is zeros of polynomials. In the next video, I will record multiplicities of zeros, which it will be clear for you as to why I know how to draw this graph. So it will help you to make the picture clear. Thanks for video. If you like it, if you understand it, would you please like it? And so this way I can attract more students. It would be, and I will continue working and recording these videos. All right. See you in my next video.